Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is the Porch Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
Hey, Quan.
Let me ask you a question, my man. Got the shades on, so your future's so bright. You got to put on shades, huh?
Sometimes I like that. Sometimes you gotta. Yeah, stuff be too bright. Sometimes I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
I can see, it's all good, but
Football season back. You know, I'm stepping behind my boys.
yeah, you're gonna have to back them up this year. But we get in that later. So we want to welcome you guys to the show. Like I said, we've been on a little hiatus. We've been chilling, having some summer activities and whatnot. But welcome back, y'all. Thank y'all for riding with us. I want to say thank you to the subscribers on YouTube. I know we gained a few more since we took our little hiatus. So I want to officially welcome you guys to the family.
Yeah.
So if you want to be really a part of that family, how about hopping on Facebook? I know everybody's still on Facebook. We got all types of options out there, but us old heads, Facebook is the go-to. Y'all hop on Facebook and look up the Porch Sports Podcast War Room. It's no longer the after party. It's the War Room. I think the War Room sounds a little bit more manly. But yeah, man, just come on and be a part of the family because we got a lot going on that we were going to touch on in a few seconds. Also, I want you to go ahead and not only subscribe to YouTube, but actually listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your podcast on, we're up there. And also leave a comment, leave a rating for us on Apple Podcasts so it can boost us up, as well as on YouTube. Hit that like, hit that, subscribe, all that good stuff. So it just boosts our platform, boost our show to where we need it to be. Whew. All right, so a couple of announcements. We are in the midst of a pick'em contest that is exclusive for the Porch Sports War Room. So if you're not in the War Room, then you cannot participate in this pick'em. The information is going to be in their description and everything. So if you're trying to get up there first, you got to go to the War Room. So if you don't go to the War Room and get accepted as a member, you can't play. But we already have a few of our members that's, long-time listeners, long-time supporters. They're already in there. And I've been lurking around today looking at it, and y'all looking pretty good. Also, the fantasy football.
Yeah.
We also have a fantasy football league this year. Again, these are like things that we're trying out for the first time, because last year we kind of did all the guesswork and the research and stuff, all this stuff. Now it's your turn. Since you're a supporter, you go ahead and do it. So we're going to have a fantasy football league. Again, it's exclusively for members of the War Room. So if you're not in the War Room, you can't play. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some things. So, like I said at the top of the show, Happy New Year to everybody that's a football fan. As y'all can see, I'm flying my Ravens banner behind me, and my Quan got his Steelers get up. So that is going to be kind of like the theme for this year. The Ravens Steelers are, AFC North rivals, and all that good stuff. But this coming Thursday at 8:25, if I believe, is going to be a football game coming up. So that signifies football season. So ladies, let me go ahead and holler at y'all for a minute. Ladies, look, I know your man for the past about 9 some odd months. Y'all been chilling, going on vacations, going out to dates and stuff. For us, please, I'm speaking on behalf of all the men. Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night, just let us have it. Y'all can have every other day of the week. Just let us have that day.
I can have Friday. Saturday.
And look, and another thing, ladies, don't get mad if you see your man on the phone. He's just checking the scores. He ain't talking to nobody. He checking scores. He checking his fantasy team, see if he up. You know, don't worry about it. You ain't got to go through his phone and stuff. It's football season, so let it. You know, that's the only time of year that we can do what we got to do. And I'm sure there's a lot of you ladies that out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and speak to the fellas. Fellas, your lady is up there. She on her phone. She ain't talking to no another dude. You know, lady can think, 5-6 different ways. But we ain't gonna talk about that because it's a sports show. But just make sure y'all understand that it's football season and nobody's getting hurt.
Right.
All right, so Power Rankings came out, and according to the consensus, the Buffalo Bills are number one. The Buffalo Bills are favored to win the Super Bowl. I don't get that one. And number two is the defending champs, the Rams. This next one, it bothered me because I wasn't prepared for that one. They got the San Francisco 49ers as number 3. I'm not really sold on their quarterback. The defense, I'm with it. But that quarterback, I don't think so. And they got a lot going on over there. Like, I know there was a report coming from San Fran where Trey Lance got kind of annoyed because they re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo, but that's neither here nor there. Tampa Bay, number 4, where they should be. Cincinnati, I had a little problem with that too. Honestly, I would have the Rams 1, Cincinnati 2, since they were the last 2 teams to play a football game of some meaning. Of course, the Green Bay Packers next. Green Bay is too high because they lost their top weapon. Even though Aaron Rodgers is 7-0 historically without Devontae Adams, but you got Alan Lazard and a bunch of rookies as his weapons, and Sammy Watkins who better has good health insurance, to be real. Next is the Kansas City Chiefs, followed by the Denver Broncos. I'm okay with that. At number 9, they got the Chargers, which I'm on the fence about the Chargers. Number 10, they have the Baltimore Ravens, which I'm okay with that. Number 11, they have the Raiders. 12, Indianapolis Colts. Next is the Saints. Next is the Eagles. 15 is the Cowboys. I did not like that pick. Matter of fact, we talked about that on Facebook. That pick was horrible. And from 16 to 20, you got the Cardinals, Titans, Patriots, Dolphins, and Vikings. And if you want to look at the entire list, please go to NFL.com Power Rankings. But if you could change the list, how would you change it?
Well, I would have the Rams number 1. They're defending champs. They're the team in the NFC.
Right.
The best defense that we have seen, in my opinion, since probably Legion of Boom in 2015. Phenomenal defense, and they added pieces to that defense with Aaron Donald. They got Bobby Wagner in the middle of the field. That's just nasty. It's outrageous. I believe they signed Von Miller. Oh, where did Von Miller go?
Oh, Von Miller went to the Buffalo Bills.
Bills, okay. Either way you look at it, their defense is outstanding. I think they're number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 will probably be the Bills. I don't like the fact that Tampa is at number 4, and here's why. They have offensive line issues right now. They play Dallas, which is a repeat of last year. Dallas barely lost to them last year by 2 points. I don't feel like they'll win. I still don't feel like they'll win because Tom Brady is there. And everybody knows what comes with that. But at the same time, they are having offensive line issues, and I'm not for sure if Tom Brady has ever played with a line this bad in his years. Which brings question marks to me as far as Tom Brady really isn't a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer. I mean, we've seen the old man run before, especially last year. He got a crack out of that when he got the first down. But he needs an offensive line, and he doesn't have that right now. Plus, he's been away from the team for personal issues, quote unquote. So I don't know how the chemistry is going to be for that first week. So I will probably drop Tampa down to probably where Denver is, to number 8. something like that. Yeah, so I got Rams, Bills. I will put. I'm just glancing at the list. I don't understand how the Cardinals dropped to 16.
Oh, I can give you a real reason. Because they're going to be without their pass catcher, the number one pass catcher, for like 6 weeks. And then on top of that, even though they start off strong in September, they always fizzle.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't know, man. It's like they got the Packers up here, which the Packers don't have anybody. They have nameless players, which isn't a bad thing. Which, you know, with the quarterback that they have and Rodgers, you know, he can make nameless people look like superstars. I mean, so I get that confused. But to have them in the top 7 for the power rankings, I wouldn't say. I would say probably top 15, maybe. I haven't seen enough for Green Bay to put them at number 6 right now. I mean, yes, they lost Devontae Adams. Yes, we have seen Rodgers be successful without Adams, but that was only for a short period of time. Now, whether he could do this for a whole 17-week season, I don't think. They play the Vikings week 1, so that's a divisional round, a divisional match. It's gonna be tough. I don't think So I would say for the top 10 though, I would say Rams, Bills, Bengals at number 3, Chiefs at number 4. Let's actually put Ravens at number 5, and let's do everything else is like go up. Let's do Chargers at number 6, Raiders at number 7, Colts at number 8, Eagles at number 9, and probably the Cardinals at number 10.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Who is your dark horse team? It could be a AFC or NFC team.
What you mean by dark horse?
Like who you, in the back of your mind, you feel like they're going to do something, even though...
The Raiders.
For me, it's Detroit.
Oh, okay. You mean like a team that was poor before? That's
going to go from like, I ain't going to say like last to first, but like that you think that's going to be the ones that's going to sneak up on everybody.
You say the Lions?
I mean, they.
I'm gonna say Jets. They had a good draft. They had an awesome draft actually. I'm gonna say Jets.
I mean, the Lions had a decent draft as well as you know, they lost a lot of close games last year.
Right.
So I really think what they did in the draft is going to help them get somewhat over the hump. I'm not saying they're going to go in the playoffs, but they ain't going to just win 2, 3, 4 games this year either. I feel like they're going to win at least 8.
Right. Okay.
Let's go ahead and switch gears real quick. So let's go over the schedule now. I know everybody that's in the war room, the ones that did it, appreciate you. I can't wait to see the results next week. What we're going to do every week is we're going to quickly go over the schedule for the entire slate of games, and then we're just going to give who we think we're going to win. All right, so Thursday, 8:20 p.m., we got the Buffalo Bills, who's a 2.5 point favorite against the Rams.
I got Rams at home with a good defense. First week of football, you're not going to see a lot of offense right away from Buffalo. At least I don't believe so. And the Rams, I mean, their defense can consistently keep a scoreboard reasonable enough for them to score a touchdown and win the game. So I got the Rams winning that at home.
I got the Rams too, only because they're hanging their banner as Super Bowl champions, and it's going to be lit. So,
you're right.
You know, crowd effect, the 12th man, The atmosphere is gonna be ridiculous. I mean, I know Josh Allen has played playoff football in Kansas City, and that's okay. That's always fine and good. But to go on the road against the Super Bowl champions, I feel sorry for y'all.
A good match, though. I will say that.
I mean, yeah, it's a really good matchup. I'm gonna really watch that game. Okay, so the New Orleans Saints, who's 5.5 point favorites against the Falcons. Saints all day.
Yeah, I got Saints.
Saints all day. Saints defense is going to wreak havoc. I ain't gonna say wreak havoc. It's gonna make it really tough for Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right, up next, 1:00, the Baltimore Ravens, who are 7.5 point favorites over the New York Jets.
Baltimore, no brainer.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say no brainer because I don't know what that offensive line is gonna look like come Sunday.
I can pitch out and beat the Jets.
I'm gonna say we're gonna beat them, but I don't think it's. I mean, it depends on what version of the Ravens offense that you see. Are you gonna see an offense that gets down behind 15, 20 points, can't come back? You know, you're gonna see a defense that's gonna give up the screen just about every play. It's gonna fall victim to trick plays. You know, if you go back to the Jets, you see that stuff. But I got Baltimore winning though. Up next, this is gonna be a good one too. Pittsburgh Steelers at Cincinnati Bengals get a rivalry game.
I wouldn't be wearing the colors if I ain't gonna be black and gold. So I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna say Pittsburgh too because just like the Ravens, Pittsburgh was not what they used to be. I'm gonna put it like this: Cincinnati they a 6.5 point favorite. I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think that the Cincinnati Bengals are all that cracked up to be this year. Anyway, they have arrived, but they ain't here to stay. Up next, the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Miami is a 3.5 point favorite, and I'm taking the Miami for the 3.
Me too. I'm actually excited to see what Miami brings to the table with Tom and Jalen Waddle. Very interested to see if this offense is going to start off at a fast pace. Because I mean, really, if you look at that roster, they have nothing but speed on that. So, yeah, I'm expecting them to beat New England. But don't be surprised because with Bill Belichick comes history, and he knows how to take a weapon away from you. We've seen it. The same scheme that Todd Bowles used in the Super Bowl against Tyreek Hill when he was with the Chiefs is probably the same scheme Bill Belichick will use, maybe a little bit more systematic and schematic.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Here you go put some extra butter and salt and pepper on it.
He might need to sneak a little hot sauce on it.
But yeah, I'm going Miami.
But yeah, just to piggyback on what you said, like I'm excited to see Miami's offense as well as excited to see New England's defense to see how they're going to hold up to that. If they can stand up to Miami and beat them week 1, which is, New England as of late has been real shaky against Miami. But if they can stand up to them and slow that defense down, New England got a chance for the playoffs. Then you heard it here first. Up next, Jacksonville Jaguars at Washington Commanders. The Commanders are 3.5 point favorites. I am taking Jacksonville.
What? I'm gonna pick Washington and Heinz ketchup.
See, the only reason why I'm taking Jacksonville is because Washington is going into week 1 kind of banged up. With that being said, it's gonna be Carson Wentz versus Trevor Lawrence. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence just because I believe in him. But I really think that I think Jacksonville Jaguars is going to cover that point spread, but I could be wrong. Up next, we got the 49ers at the Chicago Bears. The 49ers are 7.5 point favorites. I think that's too low. So I really feel like the 49ers could be about 10 point favorites at this point. So I'm going to take 49ers.
Probably about 12 to be honest.
I mean, it could really go up in double digits. It could be a blowout to be real. Oh, this is a game I'm interested in. Up next, the Cleveland Browns at the Panthers. The Panthers are a 2.5 point favorite over the Cleveland Browns. I feel like Carolina is going to cover that and then some.
Well, I'm gonna go Carolina as well. I would. My original pick before I thought about all the situations they got going on with Watson. He's out for 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna suffer bad. They're gonna suffer bad without Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah, that's going to be good, man.
This game right here, I feel like it's gonna be a heated matchup. Baker Mayfield has been talking cash money junk about Cleveland.
And and the crazy part is I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield.
The mojo, the ego that Myles Garrett plays with. I mean, he might be the next one to get hit upside the head with a helmet. But I'm gonna go Carolina. Because they have more of a complete team, honestly. I mean, Cleveland.
Yeah. Cleveland's in flux right now.
At defense, which I mean, their defense is great, but you still got to be able to put up points on the board. You know, your defense play more snaps than your offense. Then
and then Cleveland is going to be starting over Jacoby Brissett. So Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
So it's going shoot, he in the AFC North now. He gonna catch it. So I mean, yeah, he's okay. He's serviceable, but to go on the road into that environment, I mean, Carolina has a very underrated environment. That 12 man is underrated. Up next, we have the Indianapolis Colts, who are 8.5-point favorites.
Concur.
With over the Houston Texans.
They're gonna win.
Houston is gonna shock the world.
You going Houston?
Houston gonna shock the world by allowing the Colts to not only cover the spread, not only cover that spread, but to possibly get blown out by at least 17. I really think it's gonna be like a 17-game blowout. Up next, this is gonna be an intriguing one though. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are 4.5-point favorites, versus the Detroit Lions. That is gonna be a toss-up. Because as I said earlier, Detroit was like my dark horse team. Honestly, I feel like Detroit is going to give them a fit. But they're not. It's going to come down to the end of the game. They're not going to quite get it together, but Detroit going to give them a fit. But I got Philly winning.
Yeah, I got Philly winning too.
All right, up next, 4:25 is the late games. You got the Raiders at the Chargers.
I don't know who to pick with that one. I'm gonna be honest, because
I'm gonna go big.
Raiders though. I like Raiders this year. I watched the preseason game.
Yeah.
And, preseason tells you what the team is looking to do for that season.
Right.
And one thing I can say is that the Raiders can be a problem if they continue to have that great offensive line scheme that they got going on. I mean, if you give Derek Carr time to throw to Devontae Adams, you're done.
It's gonna be a barn burner.
You're done. But I like both teams. I really like this is really I feel
it's
like
a hard game.
Time game. This is an awesome matchup. I mean, you got the Chargers who didn't invest in their offense, but they invested in the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And got Bill Mack and Joey Bosa playing side by side. And then you got Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs. Good guy.
They got. The thing is, I'll get ready to say that the Raiders got a squad. So does the Chargers. The Chargers, I'm more impressed with their defense. Right. Chargers went all out on defense. So I'm gonna say Chargers by 3. The way they say 3.5. I'm gonna say Chargers by 3. It's gonna be a close game.
It's gonna be, yeah.
Up next, this game is closer. Vegas got this game closer than what I think it's gonna be. But the Packers at the Vikings. I have the Vikings.
I'm gonna go Green Bay.
I'm gonna take the home team on this one because
the
Vikings got a better defense.
In regular season, I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers until he gets to the playoffs.
I can bet against him.
When he gets to the playoffs, that's when things go sideways. But
every time,
this time, his offense isn't built around a star player anymore. So I'm very intrigued to see have this guy play without a star receiver for 17 games, it's gonna be something to see.
It's gonna be a sight to see. We might wind up seeing the chink of the armor, or we might see somebody, blossom.
But the Vikings don't.
I like their team. I like the Vikings better than I like the overall team.
I like the Vikings on paper. They got Justin Jefferson. They got Dalvin Cook. They got Kirk Cousins at quarterback, which is
Yeah, I ain't gonna say no. Look, he asked us, did we like that? Now we
on paper the Vikings is better, but schematically, Green Bay knows how to win.
Green Bay knows how to win, yes, but you got Alvin Lazard, you have an aging Randall Cobb, you have an often hurt Sammy Watkins as your receivers. The Green Bay Packers are gonna have to run the ball to win. Their passing game is going to take a back seat this year. They're going to have to run the ball to win.
I believe if they start my boy A.J. Dillon,
it's over.
A.J. Dillon, and I like the tandem of A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. I mean, they can run the ball. Now, I don't know whether because Vikings defense can be a little. I don't know. I just seen the best Vikings defense. I've seen the worst. It's like
they can be good one game and be suspect next. I'm
gonna go Green Bay.
Yeah, that's one I'm those two games I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on. Up next, the New York Football Giants at the Tennessee Henrys. I ain't said that in a long time.
Right.
Tennessee Henrys are 6.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Giants.
Winning that game, but
I'm taking the Giants.
I'm gonna stick with Tennessee.
I'm gonna take the Giants by a field goal for the simple fact there's one person that I'm anxious to see how they're gonna turn that defense around. That's Wink Martindale. He's the defensive coordinator for the Giants now, and I want to see what type of concepts he can use to slow down Derrick Henry. He stopped him before, but to slow him down. And then Derrick Henry is coming up off a season-ending injury. He shouldn't have came back for that playoff game, yada, yada, yada. But I'm going to take the Giants by a field goal.
Right.
All right, 425. There's a lot of everybody kicking on 425. The Kansas City Mahomeses and the Arizona Murrays. Kansas City is a 3.5-point favorite. I'm taking the home team.
I'm going Cardinals.
I'm taking the home team. All because I don't believe in Kansas City's defense. Their defense is going to be real suspect this year.
That's the one.
And then you lost Tyreek Hill, even though a lot of people who's Chiefs fans said that don't make a difference. No, Tyreek Hill was a home run hitter.
Right.
Like he threw up the deuces for a reason. So I'm gonna say Arizona, and I think Arizona's gonna cover that 3.5-point spread. All right, the Sunday Night Football. We're gonna have an NFC matchup with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. They got Dak, they got
Zeke. Tampa.
But see, Tampa's a 1.5-point favorite.
Really?
Tampa's a 1.5. Now that spread might change. I don't know.
Probably for last year too, because remember they only lost by 3 points last year. So,
but see, this is a prime matchup to be real because both teams have offensive line trouble.
Right.
And I only know about Tampa Bay's defense because they lost a few pieces. Some pieces had left and went on about their business. The Cowboys, in my opinion, have a better secondary. All jokes aside, they got a better secondary than the Buccaneers.
They've got receivers too.
But see, that's the only thing about it. Tampa Bay got weapons. If Dallas can generate that much, all they need is that much.
Them boys, but
I mean, it hates me to say it, but all Dallas defense has to do is get pressure up in the middle of the offensive line. You get pressure on Tom Brady in the middle, he turns into a different man.
Right.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it's gonna end in a tie. It's gonna be like 10-10. Because I mean, it's honestly they're even. It'll take a heck of a defensive play for Tampa Bay to win at Dallas. Everybody knows about that 12th man down there. He won in Dallas, or did they go to Tampa Bay?
I believe last year it was in Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm all right. I'm stoppable driver. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay, and it's gonna be. I mean, they got them. I think that's gonna change before Sunday, but I think Tampa Bay gonna cover. All right, so September 12th, Monday Night Football. This one is gonna be a good one. The Denver Wilsons. I get called them the Wilsons now. The Denver Wilson Footballs versus the Seattle Seahawks. Denver is a 6.5 point favorite.
I'm going Denver.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Denver on this one. Russell Wilson got a point to prove to Pete Carroll and the 12th man of Seattle.
Yep.
He gonna go in there and go off. It wouldn't shock me if Russell Wilson throws the most touchdowns in week 1 and for the first time in his career win AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Just by GP, the fact that he's going back to the team that drafted him and everything, and then they let him walk. I mean, I really feel like they really wasted Russell Wilson in Seattle, but that's just me. So man, look, I am excited about Thursday, about Sunday, and about Monday because this is, and I could possibly say it for the both of us, this is our favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
Man, I got to get my fire stick ready. Nah, I'm just playing. But if you gotta get on that what is it, NFL Network, the Red Zone, and all that stuff, the NFL Sunday Ticket, it's time to get up on it. So we can go ahead and break on out of here, yo. Like, so again, if you want to be a part of everything that we got going on this year, go ahead and get on Facebook and join the War Room. Go do that now, immediately. That way you can't make this week as far as the pick 'em, but we might slide you in next week. We'll see. Of course, the pick 'em, we're doing that now. Go ahead, if you already done it, go ahead and get your picks in. I think I put a post in the War Room this morning, reminding everybody to go ahead and get the picks. Also, just go ahead and get on Apple Podcasts. The show's gonna be out every week. Preferably on Thursday. Sometimes it's a little early, but we try to make it every week and make it in a timely manner. So go ahead and listen to us. Make sure you leave a review. Make sure you let us know how we doing. If you like the show, if you dislike the show, whatever, just let us know and leave a rating. Also subscribe to the channel. All the stuff is right there. And again, thank you to our current subscribers. All 44 of y'all. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for going on this journey. It's just right now we're a small channel, but we're trying to make it big. And you guys, y'all always on it, man.
We need it.
So, and of course, the fantasy football. Like I said, if you're in the War Room, you'll be on top of it because we got the fantasy football going on. I think the fantasy draft is tomorrow at 6. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Fantasy draft is tomorrow at 6. So you have until 12 o'clock noon to go ahead and get in there. But even though this is gonna be out later, but still. So I think that's it. So we can go ahead and kick on out of here. So this has been the Back Porch Sports Podcast with your boy Fonz. What? And we gone, man. I don't know. See, that's that Steeler mentality, man. See, we try to be professional over here in Baltimore, but I'll say that for these something. All right, peace, y'all.